you some cookies.
Psych!
In today's video, I'm showing you some cute handmade gift ideas you can make for your loved ones. Handmade gifts are literally a love language, and as someone who values sentimental things, I think your friends deserve thoughtful gifts. By the way, this video is sponsored by Fabricland. Just kidding. But honestly, I wish I would get sponsored because I was literally there almost every day this week. The other day, one of the workers even said to me, and I quote, "I'm not even gonna bother saying happy holidays to you because I'll probably see you tomorrow." And she saw me the next day. Anyways, the theme for these gifts are associated with food, so if you have friends who like to cook or have a New Year's resolution to cook more, these are perfect. Honestly, low-key, I made this apron so then my siblings can cook for me. The first item is this handmade apron. This apron comes in different sizes, and the good thing about it is that it has an adjustable neck strap. For this apron, I used a 10-ounce canvas, and my favorite part about this is the contrast top stitching. I have 4 of all the gifts that I'm making, so my room kind of feels like a mini factory. Since I had 4 aprons to make, I prepped all the pieces before assembly. I ironed and sewed down the outer edges, prepared the pockets, and sewed all the straps. This was probably the most tedious part and took the longest. Also, if you're using a regular machine like me, sewing thicker fabrics is tricky sometimes, but I learned this hack to get the bobbin moving a bit easier, especially if the first portion of the item is thicker. So what you do is you start from the opposite end and backstitch a few times. Then with the needle still in the fabric, turn the item around and stitch normally. This hack honestly helped me a lot with all these projects. Once all the pieces were prepped, the whole apron came together so easily. Top stitching is literally one of those things that is both satisfying and terrifying at the same time because look at this. Isn't that so good? When it turns out good, I feel so accomplished, but then in the moment I'm so terrified because if I ruin one part of the stitch, then I have to start all over again, but I was locked in. It's not perfect, but I kind of really like how the black contrast on the white canvas looks like it's hand-drawn. Do I look like a cook? I don't cook, but do I look like it? Next up are these oven mittens. And just an FYI, you don't need to purchase any patterns for these gifts. You can honestly just trace existing items in your house. However, for these mittens, I wanted to try a different style that was inspired by one of my pins on Pinterest. And I really like the shape of these, so I found a similar mitten pattern on Etsy, and it was really easy to follow along. I used a light quilted cotton fabric, and honestly, I could have quilted the fabric myself, but I had 3 pairs to make and I don't have the patience and energy to quilt that much, so plus the fabric was on sale, so that was a plus. I just finished half a glove and it's looking really cute. For the wristband, I ended up making it an inch longer than it's actually supposed to be because I thought it was looking a little bit too short, and I feel like this band is a perfect size and the mitten will be like that length. Aren't they so cute? They match perfectly with the apron, which I love. And finally, I left the cutest items for last, which are these pot holders. Initially, I was going to make dumpling and egg pot holders, but I landed on toast and eggs instead. These were so fun to make and were probably the easiest out of all 3 items. I didn't follow a pattern because I freehanded each food item, but I referenced the size of a standard pot holder, which is around 7 to 9 inches square or rectangle. You can honestly make any food item or customize it to your friend's taste. For my first attempt, I used 1 layer of the yolk and butter pieces and it wasn't very nice, so I adjusted it for my second attempt. So if you're planning on making these, I would suggest using 2 layers of fabric for the yolk and butter instead of 1. The yellow yolk is kind of see-through and it's throwing me off a little. It's looking a little bit too homemade, if you know what I mean, but I'm just gonna keep going and see if I can improve the next one that I make. Okay, I'm so glad I did the 2 layers because it looks a lot better than the first version that I tried. I just roughly basted all the layers together to prep them for assembly, and so now I'm just going to be ironing down all the pieces, trimming it down, and then I'm going to start assembly. The pot holders use pretty much the same material as the mittens. The only difference is that these require bias tape to close up the edges. And because these shapes were irregular, I went super slow since I'm not the best at sewing curved edges. I'm gonna stay stitch these 2 pieces down to the front piece just so that when I attach the bias tape, they don't go flying everywhere. Put the brown bias tape around the toast and I feel like it's looking good, except these parts aren't as dramatic as I thought they would be, like here around the crust. But I think in order to do that, I would have had to make it deeper so the bias tape can actually go in more, but it's okay. I feel like it turned out pretty good still. I went with the whole breakfast theme, so eggs and toast, but I feel like I could have also done like a sausage patty. I'm a little bit low on time and I'm still working on them, so these will do for now, but they're so adorable. I feel like I can also mix and match them, so each person would get like an egg and a toast. I don't know. They go really well together. As a sentimental girly, I love receiving and giving handmade things. And so I hope this video gave you some ideas and inspiration for easy, practical handmade goodies. I've linked all the patterns I used below, and if you stayed till the end of this video, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!